Hi everyone. We are part of the ECHS Alumni Mentor Program, and today we have a little presentation for you guys to show you some things that you can do around your area for social reasons, academic reasons, and just to enjoy your college life. So let's get into it.
So, in today's webinar, we're going to be going over on-campus academics, what to do, what to look for in campus clubs, programs, and groups. Second thing, we're going over on-campus, but the social aspect, what to do and what to look for in your school social clubs, multicultural clubs, and Greek life. When it comes to off-campus activities, what to do and what to look for off-campus at different price ranges and types of activities. There's also study abroad, what to do and what to look for abroad with a special guest.
Hello, everyone. My name is Blanca Velasco. I'll be talking about the on-campus academic aspect, but before I start on that, I'm a sophomore at Washington University in St. Louis. My major is philosophy, neuroscience, psychology, and the path that I'm taking is the language, culture, and cognition path with a minor in Spanish and possibly children's studies, but I haven't declared the minors yet. I graduated from ECHS in 2021, and my job interest is to either be licensed in marriage and family therapy or a mental health counselor.
Hi, my name is Kira Noble. I'm a sophomore at UC Riverside. My major is ethnic studies, and I graduated ECHS the same year in 2021. And for my job interest, I'm still figuring out like what I want to do, and that's totally okay. So, yeah.
Hi, my name is Adrian Osuna. I am a sophomore at Cal State Fullerton. My major is biology, and I also graduated in the class of 2021 from ECHS. And as of right now, my job interest is to become a biomedical engineer.
Okay, so the first aspect that we're going to talk about is things that you can do on campus that are more of the academic route. Something that most, if not all, campuses have are honor societies, and these are societies that are implemented inside of universities, but also have connections to the actual society outside in the professional world. So an example would be Sigma Tau Delta, which is the English Honors Society. And these types of societies recognize and promote academic excellence and achievement in specific fields. So the example on the screen is for English. The second one is professional organizations. An example that I have on the screen is the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, and these are organizations that have the specific type of people within either teaching or being mentors to students. So for that example, we would have professional mechanical engineers having a relationship with students that are studying mechanical engineering. But it's not just in the sciences, it could be any type of study, or it could also be like the American Psychological Association, which is the largest scientific and professional organization of psychologists, educators, clinicians, and students. The third that I'm going to talk about is the professional development programs or clubs. These programs help students prepare for their careers by providing workshops, networking opportunities, and also guest speakers in that field. An example would be the Career Center on your campus. For my example, for me, would be that I'm part of the Chancellor's Career Fellowship, a program for sophomores, where we have all the resources from the Career Center and our Chancellor, and they have a study session or study like period where they give us all a bunch of resources and help to find ways to get to our career the most efficiently. And then we have departmental clubs or discipline-specific clubs, which are focused on specific academic disciplines within the university. Usually who heads this are like the professionals or professors in your university. An example would be linguistics clubs, which would be the linguistics professors leading the discussions or activities. Then we have diversity and inclusion academic groups. which basically they're academic groups that have a society of people within a specific or distinct background. The example that I have is the Association of Asian American Students in Law. So the group would be Asian American students on campus, and their focus would be law or pre-law. Then the next thing would be research groups or research opportunities where you can work independently or with faculty members on research related to a field of study. This could be any field of study. You could either do it during the fall, spring, summer, it doesn't matter. And there's so many different types of research that you can conduct. You could do research in psychology, sociology, economics, business, art history, biology. There's so many different options. Then there's study groups, tutoring programs, and mentorship programs, which all basically aim to help students improve their grades and understandings of course material with tips for study skills. And they're often staffed by other undergraduate students. An example for a study group would be the Pre-Med Society, where a bunch of students that are on the pre-med track get together and study together for exams, quizzes, or anything like that. There's also tutoring programs, which are a little bit more structured and usually have their own buildings, where you can go get help from either undergrad or graduate students. Like if you need help writing a paper, there's a writing center, or if you're struggling with math or need to, learn more about it, there's Math Lab. And some universities have mentorship programs where students will be able to go to these buildings where they have peer mentors or grad school mentors, and they help you with all sorts of things, either personally, academically, anything like that to get to know the university. And lastly, for academics, there's competition teams where you can compete in academic, scientific, or technological contests, either within your school or with surrounding schools, or you can even travel to other states. And some examples would be the debate team, Model UN, or robotics.
Okay, so for some on-campus things that you can do that are more social and not so much for academics, there's different clubs and organizations that, of course, you can join. So we have some examples here. Um, some of these examples include cultural and diversity organizations and diversity inclusion organizations, which are really important because it can be a space for you to feel more comfortable around different people and have a place like a safe space, things like that. So the examples we have would be like a Black Student Union or TRIO Scholars. Next, we have student government and leadership organizations. Um, Personally, I during my senior year at ECHS, me and a group of people created a student representations of ECHS like club. And it helped me with like my leadership skills and like working with others for like a mutual cause. Because we basically wanted to improve some issues that we saw on campus. And I think it was a super cool opportunity. And I think it's also like really important to be a part of in college if you can. So I'd recommend joining something like this. And like an example could be a student union on campus. Some other examples we have are service organizations such as Campus Y, special interest groups such as crochet group. There's lots of like there's many special interest type clubs on campus if you really look. People advertise their clubs on campus. You just really gotta look around for them. Then there's political organizations that are very political, obviously. But it's actually pretty interesting. We actually have a Republican club here on my campus, and that was definitely interesting to watch. But an example would also be Democrats Club. So yeah. Some other things that we also have are fraternities and sororities, which are are super cool because you can be with a big group of people and it's kind of like a family and a support system for you. So that is pretty important to have in college. Some examples we have here are Alpha, Delta, Gamma, and Kappa, Kappa, Gamma. Those are just a couple examples, but there's many, many, many different types. Um, yeah. Some more we have are music and performing arts, such as student theater group, which is actually really cool. My school, UCR, has one, and the theater is actually really cool. And they do lots of performances and plays and musicals and things like that that you could sign up for to be an actor. You could help set up the stage. You can help with lights. You can help with tech, anything like that. So if you join a group like that, there's lots of different options of what you can be a part of. Yeah, there's also outdoor and adventure clubs. My school here has a rock climbing club and like surfing and uh, skiing, things like that, because we live in Riverside, so we're kind of in between like the beach, the mountains, the desert. So we try to have lots of different clubs for people to like go out in nature and explore and things like that. An example would be like here, the outing club. Um, Other ones that are here are recreational clubs and recreational sports leagues, such as the Ultimate Frisbee Club. Frisbee sounds cool, so that's out there. Soccer and things like that, different sports. Also, I'd recommend going to sports events at your school. They're really cool, especially if you have football or anything like that. I would take advantage of that opportunity. My school, unfortunately, does not have a football team, but we have a basketball team, which is, I would guess, the best type of sport on our campus right now.
I'll be going over off-campus social and off-campus involvement. So for off-campus social, this involves many types of activities and groups. These are just some I came up with, and there are so many more. So for example, for the social aspect, for involvement, for social aspect, apologies, there's a lot of things that we could do, like community organizations and community service. These are groups that aim to address social issues and needs in the local community and volunteer to address those specific needs. For example, something that I found interesting and nearby Fullerton was the National Association for the Advance of Colored People. So this is pretty much just advocating and helping people of color get achieve a greater position in leadership in their work businesses. There's also educational programs like tutoring, mentoring programs, health-focused organizations that aim to support research and / education in the medicine or health field. There's also disaster and relief organizations. These provide assistance to communities affected in the area. So there's cultural activities, events, community organizations, community service, educational programs, and health-focused organizations. In the environment, there's disaster, some that I already mentioned, relief organizations, ecotourism, environmental education, and environmental activism. Some for local, there's local arts organizations, for example, like theaters and museums. There's actually a museum nearby that can't find it, called the Richard Nixon Library Museum. This is pretty much where it's a burial site for Richard Nixon, which I found pretty interesting. Just nearby, it's only like 5 miles away from Fullerton, Cal State Fullerton. There's city teams, for example, right down the street. I could see it. There's Angel Stadium, something nearby, something fun. And obviously volunteer work. There's a dog shelter nearby. Volunteer. It's a little fun getaway, and it's also very therapeutic for you. It's a way to relieve stress. So some fun things are shopping, entertainments. There's many malls, recreational leagues, for example, like Kira mentioned, joining a rec league, but off campus, like going to a nearby park, or just, for example, we have ice hockey nearby. You sign up at your local ice hockey rink. That goes for outdoor activities and groups. Nightlife and dining. There's a lot of clubs nearby, especially in downtown Fullerton. Obviously, you need to be a 21 to enter some of those clubs, but even nearby, just in downtown Fullerton, they have a lot of like AMC's, theaters, museums. They also have clubs, a lot of foods and drinks. I personally love some of the mom and pop shops nearby. There's one down the street by in front of Target called Shorty's and Biggs. Shorty's is a mom and pop owned business that serves breakfast and brunch, and it's one of my personal favorites because the customer service, they treat you like a family.
So next, we'll play a little video about one of our own A&P mentors, Natalie, and she's studying in London right now. She's studying abroad. And here are some helpful tips when trying to join a community abroad. Again, you can keep in mind what we just talked about, looking on your campus and joining extracurricular activities at your university that you're at. And you can also explore. This would probably be your first time in that country. Go to different events, go to different tourist locations. That's where you're probably going to get a lot more help navigating through this entirely different city or country. And also talk to different people, get to know the locals, the foreigners, faculty, staff. You don't know who you're going to run into, you don't know who you're going to meet. So it's important if you talk to people, you'll get more knowledge out of them and maybe network or more opportunities from them as well.
Thank you guys for listening, and thank you for watching our presentation. And we hope that you put yourself out there and join some things and have fun.
So if any of you ever have questions, our emails will be displayed on this webinar. But please remember that what we mentioned are just a few of the many, many different things that you can do to find a community on campus. It's also important that you know that that you can join as many or as little as you want. You can try a recreational league, or you can try a new instrument and join the music group on your campus. There's so many different options, and you shouldn't feel limited to a certain one. Also, like for anything like dining or shopping, there's student discounts that you can use, or there's special days where students could get a reduced price, or anyone in the community could get reduced pricing. Always keep that in mind. There's always ways you can access different things, different events, and just keep an open mind. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us.